Hi, this is Janie from Paper Compulsions. I wanted to show you how I made these cute little ABC Primer Graphics 45 boxes that look like books. Made them to look like old school books and then bound them with a little belt that I made. And the ruler is from the Graphics 45 paper also. This was the Coordinations embossed paper that's part of the Signature series from Graphic 45 that they have through Coordinations. I embossed it, it comes embossed. I inked it some and I made a little belt. I stitched the end on here and I stitched the buckle piece on. Well, there. Stitch the buckle piece on. The actual buckle is made from the Pain Patch paper. It comes like this, and I cut the packaging open, and the inside is foil lined, and the medicine never actually touches the patch because it's got a plastic cover on it. So this is just perfect to use for anything that you have. You want a silver metal look to, because it's paper on one side and foil on the other, and it molds and bends really well. It embosses wonderfully. I did all my Christmas cards with the embossed paper with that this year. I put a little bit of alcohol ink on it to take some of the shine off because it was too shiny compared to the distressed books. It was really shiny, and just put some alcohol ink to take the shine off. And the little buckle works. And for the books, this is part of the paper line, and this is the Coordinations Graphic 45 Signature Series cardstock. And since it's Coordinations, it sands and distresses really wonderfully. So I sanded the edges and I inked them. And look at this cute little library card that's part of one of the papers that I put on the inside, just because who could resist that? And the little boxes, I'll show later how to make the boxes. And then I took the thick cardboard that came with the paper when I ordered it online and made a cover, and I reinforced the edges of the box. And then I covered this in cardstock and inked it. Then I put a layer of copy paper, just regular printer paper, on the outside edges and inked them really well first, and put a lot of ink on the corners because that would get a lot of wear and tear if it were a real book. Then I took a ruler and a stylus, and because I already had it on the box and I was trying to do this afterwards, it was harder, but it ended up helping me because I couldn't get my lines straight, and so the edge of the pages looked more realistic. And then I went over with a light color after I embossed it, with a light color ink after I embossed it, and it comes out with this really great effect. I'm not sure how much you can see on camera, but it really does look like a book. And I love that because I covered this section, when you close it, it looks like a real book would look when it has the binding and it has the little colored part there to reinforce the edges of the binding. I thought that was just too cute. I did play around with some other ideas. I've tried all kinds of different things to come up with the edges. I thought if I scored a bunch of paper and squished it up and then inked that and put it on the edge, that would look okay, but it didn't look good once I got it on there. It was too bulky, and turns out the easiest solution was just to use the copy paper and score it. It's another book. This was from the Graphic 45 paper, and this was actually a strip from the Tropical Travelogue paper, and this green paper was from the Coordination Signature series for Graphic 45. I embossed the spine of the book and then sanded it because it's Coordinations paper. It had a white core, and then I went over it with alcohol ink. I'm sorry, with Tim Holtz Distress ink. And the lining is also tropical travelogue paper, and then I took one of the little tags from the ABC paper and put it on the inside with "This book belongs to," because who could resist putting that on the inside? And on this one I put it on the outside. This was the main graphic from that paper, and I also used it on the spine, and I have not finished the bottom yet. And on the spine of this one, I'm not sure if you can see, I put it on my scoreboard and did a few lines and sanded them so that it would look like those little raised areas that you would see on the spine of a book. And then I inked over that. And I put a couple of mats and another "This Book Belongs To" tag. All the "This Book Belong To" pieces come on one sheet that you can cut out. And on the inside, because I was trying to conserve my Graphics 45's paper, I covered it all in cream-colored cardstock, and then I cut out my Graphic 45 paper to put and arrange, because that's the only way I could get the sizes that I wanted. And you can see this wonderful little graph paper and the ruler and ABCs. There's some subtraction problems over here. I thought that was really cute. This box originally came as one of their Staples boxes that looks like this, and that would open up, and this would open up, and there's a mini album that can go in here. But I wanted it to look like a book, sorry. So I took this portion off, and I'll probably come up with something for this. I did notice that they have embedded in this part, they have some little magnets, and embedded in this end, well, this end, they have some little metal pieces so that if it was closed, it actually holds well together. But since I took that apart and I put so much paper in here and had so much bulk, the book doesn't actually want to close right. It wants to stay open. So that's where having the other little boxes and the belt came in handy. So next time I would probably cut down on some of the bulk of this paper, and maybe it would close a little better. But I think they came out really cute. And you'll notice every now and then there's a rip or ripple in the paper, or just like a little bump in the paper. I would love to tell you that that was intentional, but what really happened was because the copy paper was so thin that the adhesive that I put under it kind of buckled and made the paper wet, so it gave it a distressed edge. But it really turned out fun in the end, that it gives it a more realistic paper look. So there you go. And I would stack them and put the belt back on. These would be great to hold little mini albums or craft supplies. Or I think this would look so cute on the edge of a teacher's desk, and she could hold craft teaching supplies or candy or whatnots in it. And then every time she looked at it, she could think of how much work you put into making these cute little boxes. I will do another tutorial on how to make the boxes themselves separately. But thanks for watching, and I hope you go to my blog and check out more pictures of it. Thanks. Bye.